Hey, Heart, before we go on with Iris and Dahlia's story, please hit like and subscribe. Thanks.
Chapter 3: Sacred Mountains Connections. The serene mountains of Doi Sathip and Chiang Mai starkly contrasted Bangkok's chaos and the bustling floating market. Dahlia and Iris hiked the steep path up to the Wat Phra, that Doi Sathip temple, the golden stupa glowing brightly against the mountain backdrop. "I can't believe you dragged me up here," Dahlia panted, wiping sweat from her brow. "Why didn't we just take the cable car?" Iris, ahead of her, barely broke a sweat. She looked back with a teasing smile. "Where's the adventure in that? You've got to feel the journey to appreciate the view." Dahlia rolled her eyes but couldn't hide the small smile playing on her lips. "You and your need for adventure." When they reached the top, the breathtaking view of Chiang Mai's sprawling city below made Dahlia pause. She exhaled deeply, her exhaustion melting away. The tranquil chants of the monks echoed through the temple grounds, creating a sense of peace that seeped into her bones. "Okay, I'll admit," Dahlia said, catching her breath. "This is beautiful." "I knew you'd love it," Iris said softly, her eyes scanning the golden stupa and the greenery around them. As they walked through the temple grounds, their fingers brushed again, but this time neither pulled away. The air felt charged between them, the calm and serenity of the temple almost amplifying the subtle tension. Chiang Mai's got a quieter LGBTQ plus scene than Bangkok," Iris mentioned as they reached the steps of the stupa, looking up at the glowing structure. "But it's still really welcoming. Many LGBTQ travelers come here to escape the craziness of the cities and just be themselves." Dahlia glanced at her curiously. "You've done this a lot, haven't you? Traveling the world like this?" Iris nodded, her expression softening. "Yeah, it's freeing. No set expectations, no one to answer to but myself. I can write blogs and share my adventures, but I don't have to be tied down. You?" Dahlia hesitated, her gaze drifting back to the city below. "I've traveled, sure, but always for work. Always write about luxury experiences, the perfect hotel, and the best 5-star restaurant. I don't know if I've ever traveled the way you do. There's always been this need to stay in control, you know?" Iris studied her for a moment. "But isn't that exhausting? Always being on, always chasing perfection?" Dahlia sighed, her guard slowly crumbling. "Sometimes, yeah, I guess it is. I never really thought about it before. It's just what I do." They stopped near a quiet corner of the temple, surrounded by blooming flowers, and sat on a bench overlooking the view. Dahlia found herself lost in thought, reflecting on how different their approaches to life were, yet how much she had started to envy Iris's freedom. "You make it sound easy," Dahlia said softly, turning to face Iris. "Just letting go of all that control." "It's not always easy," Iris admitted. "I get scared too. But I think the difference is I'm not afraid to mess up. I let myself explore. That's why I started blogging in the first place, to share the real experiences, not the polished ones." Dahlia's brow furrowed. "And people actually want to read about that? The messy, imperfect moments?" Iris laughed lightly. "More than you'd think. People crave authenticity. It's why travel blogs like ours do well. You give them the luxury, I give them the grit, but both are valuable. Together, we could probably offer something even better." Dahlia glanced at her, surprised. "You've thought about that?" "Maybe," Iris said with a sly smile. "Or maybe I just like the idea of working with you." Dahlia chuckled, feeling warmth rise in her cheeks. "You're impossible, you know that?" "Hey, opposites attract," Iris quipped, nudging her playfully. "Besides, I think there's a lot we could learn from each other." Dahlia stared at Iris for a moment, considering her words. The idea of being more open and letting herself experience life the way Iris did was terrifying and exciting. Maybe they were different, but something about their contrasting personalities made the possibility of working or even being together feel right in a way Dahlia hadn't anticipated. The golden light of the temple wrapped around them, as if blessing the growing, quiet, unspoken connection between them. Dahlia felt it then, realizing she was no longer just tolerating Iris's free spirit. She was starting to crave it. And maybe, just maybe, she was beginning to see herself through Iris's eyes. "So," Iris said, breaking the silence, "ready to take on this mountain with me? We could visit the nearby villages tomorrow, try local street food, and meet the people. Maybe even write a joint blog about it." Dahlia smiled. "The idea of working together no longer feels strange. I think I'm up for it." Their eyes met, and it became clear that this trip was about more than work. Something was shifting between them, and though neither had put it into words, the possibility of a more profound connection was undeniable. As they rose from the bench, Dahlia's hand lingered in Iris's a little longer, a silent promise of the professional and personal adventures ahead. Chapter 4: The Full Moon Party. The wild energy of Koh Phangan during the full moon party was intoxicating. Neon lights painted the beach vibrantly, and pounding music pulsed through the sand. The air smelled of salt water and street food, blending with the electric buzz of thousands of partygoers. For once, Dahlia let herself go, her usual reservations lost in the rhythm of the night. "I didn't expect you to enjoy something this wild," Iris shouted over the music, her laughter contagious as she spun around, her body alive with the beat. Dahlia, her inhibitions fading with every moment, smirked back. "Maybe you don't know me as well as you think?" Her eyes sparkled under the glow of neon paint streaked across her cheeks, matching the twinkling lights overhead. Iris moved closer, eyes locking with Dahlia's. "Oh, I think I'm starting to." Their bodies swayed in sync, the space between them shrinking with each step. The music, the crowd, and the night's energy blurred around them until it felt like they were the only two people on the beach. Dahlia felt a warmth stirring in her chest, terrifying and exhilarating. She hadn't expected this, the raw, undeniable pull towards Iris. Her pulse quickened as their hands brushed, lingering longer than before. "Maybe this is your kind of adventure after all," Iris teased, her voice softer now, the playful edge replaced with something more intimate. Dahlia's breath caught in her throat as Iris leaned in closer. The thumping bass of the music seemed to slow, and for a moment, it was just them. The glow of the neon lights bathed their faces as their lips met in a soft, tentative kiss. Time stood still. The kiss deepened, and Dahlia gave in to the moment, her hands sliding around Iris's waist, pulling her closer. The party's energy swirled around them, but it was distant, like the world had shrunk to just the two. But as quickly as she had let herself fall into the moment, a wave of hesitation crashed over Dahlia. She pulled away, breathless and confused. The overwhelming emotions bubbling inside her collided with the fears she had suppressed for days. "I can't," Dahlia muttered, stepping back, her voice shaking. "I'm not sure what this is." Iris blinked, the hurt evident in her eyes. She nodded slowly, trying to understand. "I get it, Dahlia. It's confusing, but it feels right? Dahlia felt her heart race as she considered Iris's words. There was a yearning in her, but the shadows of her past crept back. "I don't want to get hurt again," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "I was played by my ex-lover, and it's still painful." Iris's expression soft, her hand gently squeezing Dahlia's. "I'm not her, I promise. I like you, Dahlia. I think there's something here, something worth exploring. But what if it's just a fling? What if I'm just another adventure for you?" Dahlia's voice trembled, a mix of fear and frustration spilling out. "I don't want to be a temporary distraction." Iris's eyes sparkled with understanding, her thumb brushing Dahlia's knuckles. "I'm not looking for a fling. I want to understand you, and I want you to understand me. This, what we have, is different, more than special." Dahlia looked into Iris's eyes, searching for any sign of insincerity, but all she found was honesty. Yet, the memories of her ex-lover's betrayal weighed heavily on her heart. "I don't know if I can do this," Dahlia whispered, tears threatening to spill over. "I don't know if I'm ready." Iris took a deep breath, her gaze steady. "It's okay to be scared, but you don't have to figure it all out tonight. We're here together, and that's enough for now." Dahlia nodded, grateful for Iris's understanding. As they stood under the neon glow of the full moon party, surrounded by strangers who had come to celebrate freedom and life, she realized that maybe it was okay to be unsure. Perhaps this wasn't something that needed to be defined right away. For tonight, it was enough just to be with Iris. As they returned to the beach, Dahlia felt Iris's hand still in hers. And this time, she didn't let go. Chapter 5. Phuket's Hidden Beaches. The calm of Freedom Beach in Phuket enveloped Iris and Dahlia like a warm embrace, a stark contrast to the chaos they had just left behind in Koh Phangan. The secluded beach, framed by turquoise waters and soft white sand, felt like a paradise perfect for soul-searching. As they sat by the shore, the rhythmic sound of the waves provided a soothing backdrop to the tension lingering between them. Iris finally broke the silence, her voice calm yet firm. "We need to talk." Dahlia hugged her knees, staring at the horizon, her heart racing. "It's not about you, Iris. It's me. I've never felt this way before." Her voice trembled, revealing the conflict within her. "Then let's talk about it," Iris urged gently. "Tell me for me to understand, because it hurts a lot when you're pushing me away." "I know that," Dahlia replied, her tone sharper than intended. "But it's not that easy for me. I've built walls for a reason, Iris. After what my ex did to me, I can't just dive into something without fearing the worst." Iris shifted closer, her gaze unwavering. "I get that, I really do, but I'm not her. I'm not here to play games. I care about you, Dahlia. I thought we had something real." "I know that," Dahlia replied, her tone sharper than intended. "But it's not that easy for me. I've built walls for a reason, Iris. After what my ex did to me, I can't just dive into something without fearing the worst." Iris shifted closer, her gaze unwavering. "I get that, I really do, but I'm not her. I'm not here to play games. I care about you, Dahlia. I thought we had something real." Dahlia felt a pang of guilt. "You do care about me, but how can you be sure? We're in Thailand, surrounded by beautiful sights and endless adventures. What happens when we go back home? Will we just be another travel story for you?" Iris recoiled slightly, hurt flashing across her features. "Is that all this is to you? Just a vacation fling? Because it feels deeper to me." Dahlia turned away, the weight of the conversation pressing down on her. "You don't understand. I've always been the responsible one, the one who follows the rules. Falling for you, it feels reckless. And what if you wake up tomorrow and explore someone else?" Iris sighed, running a hand through her hair in frustration. "Dahlia, you think I'm the kind of person who gets bored and moves on? You're the most fascinating person I've met. I'm hooked with you. I'm not looking for just another adventure. I want to build something with you. Do you even know what you're asking?" Dahlia shot back, her voice rising. "This isn't just a fling for me. It's a leap into the unknown. What if I fall for you, and you leave me behind like she did?" The tension hung thick as Iris struggled to find the right words. "I don't want to leave you, Dahlia. I'm trying to show you that letting go of the past is okay. But you're holding on so tightly that you're pushing me away." Dahlia took a deep breath, the waves crashing against the shore mirroring her tumultuous emotions. "You don't know what it's like to have your heart broken and question every connection you make afterward." Iris leaned in closer, her voice softening. "Then let me in. Let me show you that I'm different. We can take this slow. Just promise me you won't shut me out because of your past. I want to be here for you. Violet, yes, I'm a bit confused about having this feeling for you. You know, from the first time we met, we didn't like each other, but I am in free fall now. I like you so much, Violet, that it hurts too. I want to believe that, Dahlia whispered, feeling tears prick in her eyes. But how can I? I'm terrified of being vulnerable again. The thought of getting hurt it's suffocating. Iris, listen to me. I'm trying because I like you. I really do, if you only knew. But I'm afraid. You are so carefree and it terrifies me, Iris. I want to be in your arms. Iris touched Dahlia's shoulder, sending electric sparks through her skin. What if we promise to be open with each other? No more hiding, no more assumptions, just honesty. Dahlia hesitated, looking into Iris's eyes, searching for sincerity. Honesty? That's a big word. What if we say things we can't take back? Then we deal with it together, Iris replied, her voice steady, just like we're supposed to as partners. You and me right here. We can make this work if we're both willing to try. The weight of Iris's words sank in, and Dahlia felt the walls she had built around her heart beginning to crack. Okay, but it's going to take time. I'm not going to magically change overnight. This is hard for me. I can wait, Iris said, a soft smile breaking through the tension. Just take my hand, and let's face this together. Dahlia looked down at Iris's hand resting on her shoulder, a silent invitation. As she reached out and took it, the sun dipped lower on the horizon, casting a warm glow around them. Okay, Dahlia whispered, squeezing Iris's hand tightly. Let's do this, but if you hurt me, I won't hold back next time. Iris chuckled softly, relief flooding her features. Fair enough. But trust me, I'm not going anywhere. I'm in this for the long haul. And she kisses Dahlia gently, slowly, feeling the softness of her lips. Dahlia deepened the kisses, tracing Iris back. Iris feels Violet's touch with electricity, which keeps her weak. Violet, you're driving me weak. Violet smiles. Then I need to find you some street foods now. Let's go. Iris can't believe that Violet let her hang, wanting her. Violet, you are a bad girl. Don't ever do that. Violet laughed and ran. As the sun set over Freedom Beach, the shadows of their past began to fade, replaced by a fragile hope that they could navigate this new territory together. The waves crashed against the shore, echoing their unspoken promises, and the night stretched out before them, full of possibilities.
Let's meet again, heart in the last part of Iris and Dahlia's love story. Sleep tight.